here.
Nothing.
Does anyone think that that's not a really good way to attract people?
Well, I think they get a,
Pool pass.
they get a pool pass. I mean, that's one,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Tori,
I get a full pass, but a couple of years I got a flu shot.
That's because we don't want you to miss any meetings, right?
Nothing wrong with
Bravo. You know, I mean, that's the,
Yeah.
really, it's just,
Well, what, but and you and I have talked about this, I guess I don't really understand why these people should be given some kind of compensation for their time. I think you'd have a bigger pool of people. I mean, just because it's always been done that way doesn't really seem like it should be done that way. I mean, especially planning commission, that is a lot of work, I gotta believe, and I just don't know. I mean, we get compensated, why don't they?
don't know, never have.
When,
We should
I don't-
discuss that in budget.
There you go.
So if you
We're not talking
compensated each one $100, let's say, you'd be at about
I
$2,200.
mean, I'm the last guy that wants to spend money, but I gotta admit,
Well, I think, I mean, you look at it from the standpoint of what goes on. I think if we were to entertain that, we take a look at the airport commission, and the airport commission from a fiscal point of view has always been, you know,
off budget.
well, not off budget, but self-sustaining.
Well, I mean, not on the, yeah,
They've got to pay, yeah,
Have
if they want to, if they want to get expand a hangar, we'll go ahead and co-sign the loan, but they've got to have a way to generate the revenue to pay for it. So I think that would continue forward.
So they get a pool pass, I get that.
The BZ
I don't know if they're gonna use it, but
The BZA, on the other hand, they meet once every 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's,
We haven't met very much.
okay, well then, yeah, we don't need to pay them either. So-
Right.
So far I'm liking the process.
we're and then you take.
So what's your criteria, Mr. Fodovich?
You take planning, well, take planning commission. Well, planning commission, obviously, within recent years, has not been incredibly busy and has been, going through a lot of work with respect to policy and so on. But, in the mid-'90s, early 2000s, planning commission was meeting twice a month, just to manage
Right.
what was going on. So I think, I think it's certainly worth talking about at budget if that's council goals, or compensation in the sense of,
Maybe bring in dinner like the school board does, because they don't get paid either.
there you go.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think, yeah, that's
Valid
fair.
option.
Or something like that, because I mean, I've looked at their packets and, they're worse than ours in some cases. I mean,
Planning commission,
Yeah,
can
you're
get very,
right.
very
Mhm.
complicated and, there's not enough seats out here for some planning commission meetings, depending on which one it is. So, that's a fair statement, that, and what that is, whether it's, let somebody else talk about the payroll implications and so on, or their gift cards, I don't know, but yeah, something,
some benefit.
Some
It doesn't
gesture.
have to be financial even, just something more than, because I mean, eventually you're gonna run out of people that are interested, I think. I mean, you see that in Edgerton, I think aren't there council members that aren't running? I mean,
Right.
people
No,
who-
I know.
That's a different pool.
We're not
Well, I mean.
yeah.
13 years.
Let me ask you, Cheryl, from your past experience, I know you come from a larger metro versus Gardner, Kansas, USA, but what did you see in your past?
At one point in my career, for probably about 4 years, I had 10 boards, and we did not compensate them. However, we provided, some of them met at lunch. We almost always provided lunch. Some of them met in the afternoon, and a lot of times we would provide dinner. For a planning board, we typically provided them opportunities to go to the planning conference also to learn about planning. So we provide opportunities for training as well. And,
Well, that's-
you know, for that they may view that as a perk because they're actually going to the planning conference, and sometimes it's in nice
Well,
places.
So we're talking about continuing education.
Planners-
Continuing
Crazy.
education.
I hear, right? Planners get pretty crazy at those conferences.
You got that mixed up with the wrong profession.
Those are the public.
Don't walk into
guys.
that door.
I mean, from a certain input,
So-
you know, I was on planning commission, and I'll let Tori comment, but, I mean, I gained from the experience of serving, and it helped me in my career. So I think, you know, from that perspective, I did benefit from it, because it, you know, it just expanded my experience more so than what I would have gotten, you know, as a line manager at that time back in '94. But the same, you know, I think that helps. So there's a give and take there. Now, granted, that's a benefit, and I think, you know, I think, again, I'll pick on Tori. Thanks for coming. You know, the community service aspect of it is there as well. I think that's a piece that comes into play. You know, why do we, you know, you work fish fries every Friday in line, or you work the oyster feed at the Legion?
Yeah, or Boy Scouts,
Yeah,
or what have you.
You know, it's that.
Can we talk about food a little bit more? You know,
You get
after 9
it's
o'clock, I'm
4 after
starting to
9,
get
I know,
hungry.
we're about time for the Jack in the Box commercials, right? So, but yeah, I think, you know, that's fair. I think we'll talk about what that,
Yeah, I think Larry has a good valid
yeah, what
point.
could be,
Yeah.
to be, you know, some sort of reward, if you will, for sacrifice.
And we did do a nice annual appreciation luncheon for our board.
The volunteer
Really-
board?
Yes, and
Yeah.
we would give out.
That's a
we
really
would
good
We did
idea.
a really nice luncheon,
Or even a family night at the pool during the
And we
summer,
would
like
give
at
them-
7 o'clock to close off that one side of it.
and we would have gifts at that particular luncheon, and they really liked
Right.
that.
Maybe, you know, if the Royals get better, we can, not.
There's no way
the
it's
Royals,
it's when they get better.
when they get better, okay.
Right this year.
On them to win the World Series.
Play hard.
We could do it
Right.
at night or something.
Are
Thank you,
really?
Mary.
You going to Vegas, gonna put one down,
I'm
huh?
on the Vegas.
We did that.
Okay. All right, very good. Thanks again, Mary.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mary.
Doreen.
Thanks,
Good job.
Doreen.
Good work. All right,
That's it.
okay.
So should we remove ourselves to the nearest eatery?
That's right. Where are we going? Austin's or what?
So that
I
we
got
can-
dinner at home, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, leave our books.
Leave your books.
Leave your budget books.
Leave your serving binder.
I take my finger, can we get, that works for me, that's fine. If I could have that. Yeah, just,